Well, planting is underway in most parts of the country, and as more producers are in the field, safety is crucial. Joining us now is Progressive Agriculture Foundation Interim CEO Brian Kuhl. Brian, thanks for joining us today. Certainly an important time of year to talk about safety. How can farmers create a safer environment during this busy time?
Well, spring is finally here, and with the compressed planting season we're going to see, farmers are going to be attempting to cover as many acres as possible while the weather holds. However, this quick-paced work can draw down our safety focus and put us and those around us at risk of injury. So first and foremost, we just all need to slow down and think about safety. We are all responsible for maintaining that safety focus around our farms, but we also need to maintain that safety focus out in the fields where we are working and while moving that equipment on public roadways from field to field as well. Second, we need to make sure that we're caring for ourselves as well, meaning that we need to make sure we're getting the rest and the sleep we need to stay alert and focused.
Now, Brian, you mentioned, of course, safety in the roadways, and a lot of folks may not think about it, but there's responsibility on both folks traveling the roadways in regular vehicles, but also the farmers in those equipment.
Yeah, so if farm equipment is not moving around on your local roadways already, it will be soon. And it's important that drivers of cars and pickup trucks slow down and be attentive to other vehicles on the road, especially at night. But as farmers, we also have the responsibility to make sure that we're transporting our tractors and the equipment in the safest way possible. According to a study by the University of Iowa College of Public Health, it's estimated that 50% of traffic accidents, including farm equipment, would decrease if state policies required more lighting and reflection on those vehicles. So before heading out on the roadway, make sure that your tractor and the equipment's warning lights are in working condition, and also check that slow-moving vehicle signs and any other reflective markings are visible, clean, and reflective. A few dollars spent to replace faded reflective tape or a faded slow-moving vehicle sign could help prevent an incident on the road.
And Brian, we've talked about spring planting, but there's other things taking place during the springtime on the farm. Are there any other important tips folks should consider, whether it's in grain production or even in livestock production?
Yeah, absolutely. So, many of our spring projects like building a deck, planting a tree, or even building some fencing or putting up some fencing involves digging. And it's important that if you're going to be out doing any type of digging or driving posts into the ground, that you become aware of the underground utilities that may be in that project area. The process to do this is simple. Dial 811, and the utility operators will come out and mark any underground utilities that you may need to be aware of when you dig. And just a second quick tip revolves around chemical safety. This time of year, we start using farm and yard chemicals in our fields, gardens, and lawns. And as we teach kids at the Progressive Agriculture Safety Days, make sure you follow the label instructions of how to use the chemicals, wear the appropriate protective clothing when using them, and then, as always, keep all chemicals out of the reach of children, as well as keeping children and pets out of the area where the chemical was applied. It's also important to keep chemicals in their original container for storage. And as always, you can always learn more safety tips by attending a Progressive Agriculture Safety Day with your child, and you can learn more about them at progressiveag.org.
All right, Brian, thank you very much for important tips for us. Progressive Ag Foundation Interim CEO Brian Kuhl on the phone with us from Hudson, Wisconsin this morning.